A homeowner already bought the house, and now the insurance, the taxes, and carrying costs keep showing up while the buyer they expected still hasn't. And what was supposed to feel stable is already getting more expensive to hold. A homeowner listed their house, and weeks later, the payment, the insurance, the taxes are still hitting, but the buyer never showed up. What was supposed to feel temporary is starting to feel like a second job, because every extra week that house sits, the bills don't pause, they stack. And suddenly that profit you thought you had starts getting eaten alive by the cost of waiting and carrying over. Not in the headlines at first, not in some economist doing yoga with a spreadsheet. You feel it when a seller realizes, wait, I'm not sitting on a golden ticket. I'm sitting on a monthly expense with landscaping. And that is the mood change happening in real estate right now. Because a lot of sellers are walking around with 2022 confidence in a 2026 market. They still think the house is going to come out. Beyonce music starts playing, buyers faint. One guy offers over asking, another buyer throws in their firstborn, and the realtor starts speaking in tongues. That is not what's happening right now. What is happening is this. A lot of sellers still believe they're going to get their asking price or even more, while the actual market keeps handing them the same message in increasingly rude ways. Price cuts, longer times on the market, fewer offers, more negotiation, more silence, and that silence is expensive when you still own the thing. And that's the part people miss, because once a house sits, this is no longer some abstract conversation about market conditions. No, now it starts to get extremely personal. The insurance bill is still real. The tax bill is amazingly real. The maintenance is still real. The lawn guy still wants his money. The air conditioner does not care about your estimate. The roof is not up there going, hey, you know what? Don't worry. I know you're overpriced. The house keeps charging you rent to be delusional. And that is why I think this year is the year more sellers finally get the message. Because a lot of them are still overly confident on the surface. But underneath that confidence, you can already see the crack forming, because even though a huge share of sellers still believe they'll get asking price or higher, more of them are also admitting they may have to cut the price or offer concessions. So that's like somebody telling you, no, I'm definitely getting married on Saturday. I also just hired a breakup attorney as a precaution. You don't do both unless reality has started tapping at the window. And reality has definitely tapped for so many people right now, because last year, a massive share of listings had to cut the price at least once. That matters because it tells you the first number was a fantasy. The market had to come in like an unpaid therapist and say, hey, let's be honest. This isn't about what you feel your home is worth. This is about what another human being with a mortgage payment is willing to tolerate. And that's the real value of a house right now. Not what you painted it, not what your cousin said, not what your realtor whispered to keep you calm. It's what somebody will actually pay. That's it. That's the bottom line. Your house is worth what a buyer is willing to pay, nothing more, nothing less. And that's a brutal truth, because a lot of sellers are emotionally attached to pricing like they're submitting their child to a talent show. This is Madison. She's unique. She's special. She deserves 2.4 million. It's like, no, sir, no. Madison has an outdated kitchen and backs up to a noisy road. And this is why buyers have quietly become more informed than sellers in a lot of cases here. Buyers had to learn. They've been the ones getting beaten up for the last couple of years. They got outbid, priced out, rate shocked, and emotionally mugged by open houses. So now they study listings like detectives. They know the history. They know when a home gets relisted. They know when the seller is trying that old trick where the listing disappears for a minute and comes back pretending as if it was fresh. That's not a fresh listing. That is a witness protection listing. Buyers see it. And once buyers see enough houses sitting with no action, their whole posture changes. Now, a couple of years ago, buyers walked into the market like apologetic interns. Hi, thank you so much for letting me overpay for this split level with a haunted basement. Now, they're starting to walk in like people who know the menu. Oh, this has been sitting here for 43 days? That's interesting. Suddenly, I'd like to negotiate with my full face. And that shift matters. And to be fair, some sellers are starting to get smarter. More of them are researching comparable prices. More of them are making repairs. More of them understand those first 2 or 3 weeks on the market actually matter now, because if you miss that moment, you don't just lose time, you lose leverage. The house starts looking stale. Buyers start asking the dangerous question, what's wrong with this place? And sometimes nothing's wrong with it. Sometimes the problem is just that the number walked in wearing 2021 shoes. And that's the issue. The seller is still mentally in the era where you could list a broom closet in Florida, put a cozy description in it, and get 6 offers from people who have given up on dignity. Now, that version of the market has weakened. Not everywhere, and not everywhere equally, but enough to matter. And you can see it in the sales data too. Existing home sales declined again in March. And that's a problem because March is supposed to be the beginning of the spring housing market. The seasoned realtors talk about the way Marvel fans talk about the next phase. It's like, no, just wait till spring. Well, spring is when everything comes together. Then spring arrives and the sales are down. And that is not the opening scene people wanted. Sales fell month over month in all 4 regions. All 4. Which is important because there has been this running narrative that certain regions are untouchable. The resilient markets, the hot pockets, the places where apparently every house is still being sold by gladiator combat. And yes, some local markets are stronger than others. Absolutely. Some towns are still seeing multiple offers. Some neighbors are still getting weirdly hot. And real estate is always local, but nationally, the softness is spreading wider than the seller psychology wants to admit. And that's the mismatch here. Seller psychology is saying, I know what I have. The market, though, the market is saying, apparently, nobody else does. And I think a big reason for that is sellers have been slower to update their own mental software.